American presidential experience to put together an Air Force One replica. Actually, we've used a 727 and made it into a mock-up of Air Force One. Well, the challenges are trying to get everything right. Lots of details. People, when they walk on board the airplane, feel like they're walking in the president's airplane.
Welcome aboard, Sam.
This is John. again today, doing this Air Force One. Walking aboard the plane last night and this morning is just phenomenal to me because it brought back a lot of memories. I'm very proud to be a part of that crew and part of the history of Air Force One. When it leaves here today, it's going to the Democratic National Convention in Denver, and it's going to be part of a presidential exhibit that all can see, and hopefully people there and from all over the country that it's going to be at the convention will be able to get a chance to go aboard Air Force One. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our Secretary of Commerce, David Kerr. Thank you for coming down today, sir. As Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Kerr is the head state lead economic development organization, and in its mission to empower individuals, businesses, and communities to realize prosperity in Kansas.
Well, thank you, Darren. We would have probably been out of here sooner today. We should have abbreviated that introduction, but thank you very much. And I do appreciate the fact he referred to me as, he apparently knows my father because he referred to Mr. Kerr and Sir. That's my dad, but thank you very much. We appreciate that. It is certainly an honor to be here in Augusta, Kansas today. Obviously, it's another bright, beautiful day, as it is every day in Kansas. And we're here today to really acknowledge and celebrate a special event for us. This is truly a remarkable exhibit of presidential and aerospace history that we have here today, so we're very fortunate to be here. We're here to celebrate not only our state's role in the history, but as well as our modern-day role in aviation, as well as political science and political history. So again, it is a great opportunity to be here, and I certainly appreciate the invitation. And how cool is it to be right here in front of a mock-up of Air Force One? Many of us all dream about having the opportunity to witness either the actual Air Force One or even a mock of it. But again, this is a plane that not only carries the President of the United States, but the leaders of the free world. So we're very fortunate to be here for this particular event. And as Darren indicated, and Steve indicated, as soon as this event is over, this display will be heading to Denver, where it'll be displayed at the Democratic National Convention. It'll be part of the American Presidential Experience displayed outside the convention. And obviously this display will be there not only to educate people, thousands and thousands of visitors that will visit this display will learn not only about American history and about the history of Air Force One, but also about our political system and the process that we're now going through in the course of the next several months. So it's really exciting that it's all starting right here in Kansas, and it'll be moving from here to Denver. As many of you know, that the Air Force One mock-up is here, was built by not only Kansan, but Augusta's own Steve Canamy, and I think that we should all be very, very proud of the fact that we have a local resident as well as a state of Kansas that's representing us. But you know, this particular part of the plane that sits behind us is a Boeing 727, and it has quite a history even before Steve started his work on it. This, in fact, in 2004 was the official campaign airplane of the Kerry Edwards presidential campaign. It, in fact, was a commercial airplane that was used by the NBA, a VIP plane for NBA players. And in fact, I understand that its last official trip, or its last official flight prior to this experience, was carrying the Los Angeles Lakers to the NBA Finals in just May. So it's remarkable that this plane was actually in service carrying the Los Angeles Lakers in May, and we see the great work that Steve and his team have done to get it in the condition and to display and get ready to move on to national prominence. So you've done a tremendous amount of great work in a very short period of time. And I'd say how fitting it is we're right here in Augusta, Kansas to celebrate this today, because as we all know, and Representative Masterson that's here today also understand that Wichita, Kansas, and Kansas is the air capital of the world. That in fact more than 50% of all the general aviation planes that are built in the United States today come out of Wichita, Kansas. And more than 42% of all the planes that are built in the world globally come out of Wichita, Kansas. So that means that no matter where we are in the world, when any of us step on a plane, there's a greater than 40% chance that that plane was built in Kansas. And I think that's, again, something that we all can be very proud of, and it fits in with where we are today. And certainly it's a testimony to the great aviation companies we have right here in Kansas, companies like Boeing and Cessna and Spirit Aerospace and all the other cluster of airline and aviation companies we have in Wichita. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for all coming today. Steve, we'd like to congratulate you on the great work that you've done and the prominence that it will give, not only in terms of the history of aviation as well as our political system, but also to the great work and our aviation history that we have right here in Kansas. I think we can all reflect on how proud we can be of not only this day and the aviation manufacturing that occurs in Kansas, but also in presidential history and in the history that's being preserved with this particular display. So again, thank you for the invitation. It's a real honor to be here. And Steve, thank you for representing Kansas and Augusta, Kansas in such an outstanding manner. Thank you.
Beautiful. It's different. Never saw anything like this.
Absolutely. I was amazed that they were able to do it in 4 weeks.
We have an actual and original 25 copies of the Declaration of Independence. As I said, we have the Air Force One. We have a full-size Oval Office with all the furniture and all the paintings. When people exit their tour of the Oval Office, there's another mini one that they can have their photo made, sitting behind the President's Resolute desk. We have the C-SPAN campaign bus that will be here. And we have for the first time a collection of presidential documents, a document signed by each president for the crew there.
It gives our citizens a very good understanding of seeing where some of our tax dollars may go as far as supporting our President of the United States in his travels and others dignitaries across the world.
This was Nancy Reagan's quarters. She couldn't sleep there. The president could sleep up there. The 707s are much smaller than what they use now. The aircrafts are 747s, which are much, much bigger than today. And an interesting little story about, that's Nancy Reagan with an orange in her hand. And one day to get the attention of the crutch and threw it down the middle of the aisle. Got everybody's attention, so then it became a tradition that when is she going to throw the orange down the middle of the aisle?